Good morning. I guess I'd like to call this meeting of the School Building HVAC Project Committee at Polson to order. It is 8:03. And do we have any public comments out there?
We do have one person in attendance.
Oh, great.
So they're more than welcome to speak if they like.
So if you're joining us online, you can just raise your hand and we'll call on you. And if not, that's fine too.
I'll rely on Raquel to do that because
Okay. I see.
have
I don't see a hand raised by our attendee.
all right, well, I think we'll have another opportunity later on in the meeting for public comment. So at this point, we have two minor orders of business. One is to approve the prior minutes for April, and I don't have the exact date in front of me, but we'll just say the April meeting.
Jean said she was going to call in. So, do you need her to do that?
No, I
I don't think we
can
do. Yeah. I
We
mean,
can get through
much
the
more important to
business.
get her input on the issues as opposed to the procedural stuff. Right.
So I'll make a motion, Galen, to approve the meeting minutes of, can I do both meetings of both
Yeah, let's do both. Sure.
of
Yeah.
April and May minutes?
All right. I guess I'll second that.
Okay.
And all in favor? Good. Thank you.
Hmm.
The motion passes 2-0. There is no old business. And we have some new business talking about the Polson Auditorium upgrades, electrical power distribution, and HVAC modernization. So, Bill, at this point, maybe, well, we'd like to hear from the architect and also from Bill. I'll let you take it over from here.
Yes. So
if you'd
we'll
like.
turn it right over to Mark Schweitzer. Mark, why don't you run with it now?
Yep, no problem. Mark Schweitzer with Colliers. The DD set for Polson is out. We have a reconciliation. It's went to Gilbane and to the town for review. I have not sent out the design review Excel file, so I will do that today. But any comments as you review, if you could get them on there, that way I can get them to BL for response to it. We have a reconciliation meeting scheduled for the 12th, which is next Wednesday, basically all morning, where we sit down with BL and Gilbane and go over the estimates for on both sides, make sure that scopes are matching, make sure unit pricing is matching, or not matching, but discussed and agreed to, let's call it that. They rarely match. And that way we're testing the documents, making sure that what the intent is what is on the drawings and what would be bid. So we capture the cost and we also capture the constructability of it. So that is set for the 12th, basically all morning. And then on the 14th, we are meeting with the principal to go over the items and see where we're at with that and how we can, bring her up to date. And with that, I'll turn it over to BL or Gilbane if they have anything else to update on.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. So on the constructability log, Mark, is that something we can do in Procore, or do you want to keep that in Excel? We can get everybody access to Procore.
Let's keep it in Procore.
Okay. All right, good. Thank you.
If anything, we can export it to Excel and insert it.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, great. I know we have it set up on our end. We'll make sure that everyone on this call, especially BL, has access to it as well.
Also, we can, for the town, they can put it on Excel and we can export it to Procore.
Yep. Either way, you can go either way with it. Okay, great. So if Procore is kind of the home for it, then that's ideal. Thank you. As far as the meeting on the 14th, one of the things we need to do once the kids leave for school break is to get into the building and open up some more ceilings in a handful of areas. So the meeting on the 14th, Bill, I think we'll have a pretty firm plan for nights and weekends. like was issued in the RFP, and then also an alternate plan if we were to go to days. But there still will be some tweaking to that, just because by the 14th, I don't think we're going to be able to get all the kind of the due diligence and investigative work in prior to that. So, but I feel confident it's not going to change much. I think the broader picture will certainly be there. What the advantages and disadvantages of each are in terms of money and schedule. If that works.
Great.
Okay.
Thanks, Nick.
Yep.
I think, the building committee, just so we clarification on, the team is putting together all the details and doing the review. We're also then going to get input from the school so we can come back to the building committee with some recommendations that make sense. I think we all agree we're going to have some hard decisions ahead of us. We know the costs are always coming up and not going down. And then we're working, Peter's going to be part of the review. I'm going to be part of the review, so we're going to review it with the school and our professional services. And so we can have a recommendation. I think the hard work is in the next month ahead to make the decisions on how we're going to make this work within the budget, within the time frame, and the least impact to the school. And that's really the hard conversation, is what's the least impact to the school. Moving the project faster and having maybe a bigger impact to the school, or stretching it out and not being able to do as much because it's going to cost us more money than having a longer impact but maybe less impact. So I'm trying to explain the different options without really talking about them yet, but we have some hard decisions to make. We're going to get the school involved, all the professional services. Then my expectations, we're going to bring it back to the building committee. And then I assume, the Board of Ed will be involved too, because it will affect the schools. We're all on the same page? Does anybody disagree with that concept?
Sounds good.
The other key thing is Peter, and then Ben, our new construction manager, who's going to, work with Gilbane and our professional services to, be more involved once July comes. So I think there's a lot happening in the next month to the end of this month. So I don't know. That's one of the things I wanted to sort of talk about is our next building committee meeting. Our next building committee meeting isn't until July. Is that correct?
I think that's right.
So I guess we can, once we meet on the 14th, we can reach out to you if we need to meet faster or move it along. But normally we meet at the beginning of the month. I think we should have some good stuff by then, and we could, make some recommendations. I'm guessing, unless someone thinks we need to move it faster, I think that would work. Everybody agree on that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think,
Yeah.
Emily, when's our last Board of Ed meeting? It's like
This month.
this month,
We don't have any scheduled currently for June.
right?
I mean, for July, sorry. I
July.
think
So it'd be
last
like the
scheduled
16th or something,
June 18th. Yeah.
18th.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't have the July schedule yet.
Yeah, and the facility committee, I know the Board of Ed facility committee is not meeting. I think this committee has a lot of work to do ahead of it before it even goes to the Board of Ed to make recommendations. We want the board on our to agree and be involved. But I think we have a little work ahead of us before we're ready to present anything to them for recommendations.
Mm-hmm.
But we may have to ask them to have a special meeting if they're not meeting in July. Are they meeting in July?
Not right now.
We brought this up at the Board of Ed Executive Committee, and we all sort of are on the same page that we'll have to spend some time over the summer, and certainly a special meeting would be in order and supported to talk about this.
If the
From
timing
facilities-
is,
Go ahead.
no, just if the timing is, we're juggling the time. So I agree, we might have a special meeting, but we're not ready to commit to that date
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah, we can be flexible.
So that's
Okay.
all I had. Peter, did you have anything?
I see on here where DL is going to be reviewing the diesel and natural gas options. Is Jesse on board with that?
I actually I would have brought Dennis Burton, our lead electrical engineer, had I known that was on there, and I apologize. I just opened the agenda this morning. I don't know if you guys would rather do that at a separate time. You know, I don't want to delay it too much, but he's definitely the person to present that piece of it.
Well,
Let's
let's-
a working group meeting on that. That way we can make recommendations to Bill and Peter, and then we can bring it to the board.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Mark, just let me know what it's a good time for you and Bill and Peter, and I'll we'll coordinate with Dennis, make sure we can all attend that.
Okay, so we'll table that issue then and bring it up next agenda, next meeting. Okay. All right. Is there any further questions or are there comments on Polson? Okay, so then
Sorry, Gail.
yeah, please go ahead. Yeah.
Quick question for Mark on Langen. Is Langen getting, are they ready to go once the kids get out of school to do some additional testing?
Yes, we will have them ready to go.
Okay,
They're
all right,
looking
great.
at they have the drawings and they're looking at what they need to test.
Okay, great. All right, thanks.
Great. Okay, good. Thank you. Next up is a report on the hand rooftop unit replacement. Do we have an update from the architect?
Yeah, I believe we had issued the drawings for review finally, the final review. So I think we're waiting on specs and that's about it.
Okay. We were hoping to go out to bid for those reasonably soon, I think, right? Bill, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken. Yeah.
Yes, we're planning on going out to bid within the month. Is that correct? Does anybody disagree with that?
Nope.
I think we're ready to go. I think we're just finalizing it. The plans have been reviewed by us, the town, the staff. I think you guys are working with Felicia on finalizing the specifications that and I believe that we're imminent going out. I just didn't have the dates in my head, but it should be shortly.
Yeah, I was going to say within the week.
Yes.
Okay.
So what we'll send it out. You know, I apologize they don't have the schedule with us now, but we'll send it out before your next meeting, and then we'll send you guys the time frame. But we assume that they're going to need to be out for a month or so. So we're going to bid it out this summer, and hopefully award end of the summer, early August or early fall is our plan, and we're on schedule and on time. You agree?
Yes.
Correct.
So we'll get back to you next week with the schedule. We'll just send it to you. I assume that you won't have any concerns with it. We're pushing hard to get it out for this summer because we know it's a long lead time on ordering the units.
Yeah,
right,
and
sounds-
we're anticipating that we may see some changes in the refrigerant that's being supplied as well. We're seeing that on some of our jobs going out. So that may add a little bit of a complication, but it's been shaken out pretty easily.
Great.
Can you explain what the refrigerant change is?
Yeah, a lot of the units are going to the new refrigerants as they're phasing out 410A.
410. Okay. All right. Shoot. Okay.
Yeah, they kind of snuck up on us, but we had this is heavy bid time for us, so couple of the manufacturers kind of snuck them in.
Out of curiosity,
before-
what was the reason for going or abandoning 410A?
It's a global warming potential and ozone depletion factor. They're not going to be making any more equipment, but they will be making the refrigerant after January 1st of 25.
Ironically, I thought the 410A was supposed to be the one that saved the planet.
Yeah,
All right, thanks.
you got it.
Yeah. Very good to know. Does anybody else have any questions about the rooftop units? No, we're good there. Okay. Next up would be to approve an invoice. This is for Silver Petrocelli, invoice 24-567 for $3,000 for the rooftop unit replacement design development professional services through April 30th of this year.
So moved.
Okay, thank you. Do we have a second for that?
Second.
All right, thank you, Jean. Any discussion? Seeing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 3-0. All right, thank you. And that would conclude our agenda items. We have an opportunity for public comment. If you're out there and you'd like to ask a question or raise an issue, please raise your hand.
No hands raised.
No hands. Thank you, Raquel. We'll open it up to any remarks that anybody has this morning. Anything that we've missed or want to cover or propose for the next meeting?
Yes, I apologize. I have one more question. I should have.
Oh, good.
Had my list all in one place before I jumped on the call. Jesse, I spoke with Rebecca. I think it was not last week, the end of the week prior, about replacing LG in the VRF specification, and was just wondering if you guys had settled on a one, if you're okay with that, and two, if you've settled on what the third manufacturer may be in lieu of LG.
Yes, right now, our basis of design is Train Mitsubishi. Dakin is a good equal to that, and we're going to use Carrier Toshiba as the third alternate, but I just realized that I wasn't up to date on their line because we're more familiar with Train and Mitsubishi. So Carrier and Toshiba have two separate lines on the same, both under Carrier. So we need to just figure out which one of those two is the appropriate equal, Carrier or Toshiba, even though Carrier reps both of them. So we'll come to a finalization on that piece. But I think with coordination with Bill and Peter, that they were good with those changes, and actually we are too.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay. I'm not one to prolong the meeting, but I don't want to skimp on opportunities to talk. Is there anything else?
I'm
Dean, we're
good. Thank you.
Bill, we're good. All right. Well,
Pete?
I'm set.
all right. Well, thank you for everybody for coming in and with your inputs. It's a beautiful day. I guess we can call for adjournment at 8:21. I don't think we need a vote for that, do we?
Thank
Oh,
you.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you very much.